The cultural districts of Minneapolis revel in the motto of every neighborhood having its own flavor. Whether that's Sabor Latino in Holy Land over in Northeast Minneapolis on Central Avenue, Baracala Restaurant and the Cedar Cultural Center over in the Cedar Riverside neighborhood, or even Mercado Central in Los Ocampo over on Lake Street. And these cultural districts help Minneapolis stay a city on the bubble, changing and relevant today and for years to come.
It's not just another day in your life. Things are changing for the better. At Comcast, we see those changes, and we're thinking about how we use technology today to live, work, learn, and play. And we're building for the future now, so we're better prepared for the wants and needs of tomorrow. That's why Comcast is rolling out multi-gig internet speeds to more than 50 million homes and businesses before the end of 2025, making our already industry-leading network even faster, smarter, greener, and more reliable. Over the decades, Comcast has been your partner, working hard to serve your community, and will continue to be your partner. We're expanding our gigabits so you can enjoy the tiny bits that matter most.
Want your boss to put some real action behind the rhetoric when they talk about making your workplace more inclusive? Find out how to hold their feet to the fire and demand diversity on the Diversity Dude podcast.
Hello there, and welcome back to the Diversity Dude podcast. I'm your host, Lambertus Fisher, marriage and family therapist, award-winning author, and national speaker on the topic of multicultural awareness and diversity. And before I dive into today's topic, I'm excited to share with you that I have the honor of having been selected as one of the featured speakers in this year's TEDx Minneapolis event, this August 12th at Orchestra Hall in Minneapolis, Minnesota. If you happen to be in town, I welcome you to participate as I bring a relationship-strengthening principle to this year's theme of creating an atmosphere of intersection and connection. And as in everything I do, whether it be through my one-on-one relationship building efforts as a therapist or my informing and empowering efforts as an author or speaker, know this: my personal mission is to do my part to improve the world one strengthened relationship at a time. So, today I want to share with you a few encouraging words about multicultural parenting. So if you weren't aware, the fourth Sunday in July is technically National Parents Day, which, although not as popular or widely celebrated of a day, it's intended to recognize one of the most important responsibilities one can have in life: raising and caring for another human being. So on this Diversity Dude podcast, I want to take a few moments to share a few helpful insights that have helped many of the parents who I've had the pleasure of supporting therapeutically over the years. Now, it's not that much of a stretch to share that healthy parents have a greater likelihood of raising healthy children who hopefully become healthy adults, and so on and so on. As such, whether you are a parent yourself or had parents or know someone who has a parent or is a parent, we all benefit as a community by supporting healthy parenting efforts everywhere. However, the question then becomes, who determines what is healthy and what is not in one household? In addition to the many challenges that co-parents have in their relationship with each other, when two parents come from different cultural backgrounds, it can be even more challenging. Some co-parenting challenges in multi-ethnic homes everywhere are which parents' language will be spoken in a home, which parents' holidays will be celebrated, or which parents' faith beliefs will be taught, and many more. Now, the correct answer to these challenges is simply that there is no one correct answer. Rather, all parents have the challenge of sharing their unique cultural values, customs, and ways of preferred being with each other as co-parents, and determining for themselves as a team what combination of their collected cultural life experiences will be passed on to the next generation. It's not an easy decision. Not only that, but it's often not a decision that's made once and for all, but rather one that is made one decision, one value, one preference at a time over time. This is also relevant for single parents, by the way, for even if one parent is absent, the child may desire and benefit from learning about and embracing aspects of the cultural experience of the absent parent. And the present parent then has the challenges of determining how involved they'll be in assisting the the child in doing so. Now, that in and of itself is more than many families have considered in advance and wing it as they go. For many only consider it when they're forced to. And by forced, I mean when they officially decide to join their lives together with someone and who has a different cultural life experience. And then they're tasked with not only learning about their partner in a new way, but determining how much or how little they'll allow that person's cultural differences to be incorporated into their own lives and the lives of their shared children. If you are in a multicultural co-parenting relationship, I encourage you to resist the temptation of fighting for your way to be the only way that's taught moving forward. And instead, find some way to affirm the cultural identity of both parents, providing a foundation for the child to later build upon and determine how much or how little they'll continue that which has been taught. Now, all that being said, I suspect there are some of you who are listening who may be considering this topic as something that doesn't apply to you because you're not in a multicultural co-parenting relationship. And it is here where I must confess to you that all parents and all co-parenting relationships are multicultural co-parenting relationships. What do I mean? Well, as I mentioned previously on this podcast, culture includes more than just race and ethnicity. It also includes things like gender, age, faith beliefs, political affiliations, socioeconomic status, and many more. These are just some of the ways in which we can have similarities and differences in cultural experiences between co parenting partners. Think of any time you have uttered the phrase, "That's not how we do things where I come from." When the preferences of two parents are influenced by the values or beliefs taught or experienced where they came from, then this multicultural challenge becomes one for us all. Whether you come from a different city as your co parenting partner, a different state, different socioeconomic status, faith community, political upbringing, or wrestle with which holidays you'll celebrate the most and why, the challenge is surprisingly similar. And that is to do your best to own your preferences, respect your co parenting partner's preferences for the same reason that you value yours, and find a way to pass on the best of both worlds to your children, giving them the freedom to choose their own version for what is based on what's been taught to them as they grow. Dare I say, they may even grow up, find a spouse and future co parenting partner who has cultural differences and experiences and values of their own, and then a new negotiation between them will begin, and so on and so on. One of the best gifts you can offer your children, both now and in preparation for the future, is a healthy appreciation for your own cultural experiences, values, and preferences, as well as a healthy appreciation and respect for others having preferences and values based on their own life experiences as well. Now, here's the key: you don't have to care as much about the other person's values as they do. You can simply care about the other person enough to support their care and their desire to pass on what matters to them as well. What this looks like is up to you, one family at a time. My hope for you is that whether you are a parent, will be a parent, or are simply in a position to support healthy parenting around you, that you would see the opportunity for all parents to embrace their own multicultural co parenting challenge and to lean into it with the mutual appreciation and a sense of responsibility that gets passed on from generation to healthier generation. And with that, I'll say thanks again for listening to the Diversity Do podcast. If you have any pressing diversity related questions that you'd like me to address on an upcoming podcast, or if your organization is in need of a shame-free and empowering guest speaker or training on this often sensitive topic, then feel free to reach out to me directly at www.diversitymadesimple.com. And if you know of anyone who could benefit from a positive and encouraging perspective on this often difficult topic of diversity, feel free to send them a link to this podcast so they can be encouraged as well. And keep an eye out for even more relationship strengthening encouragement in my upcoming message at TEDx Minneapolis 2023. This upcoming August 12th, and of course available online afterwards. For more information, visit tedxminneapolis.com. And as usual, I look forward to addressing as many topics as possible in as many future podcasts as possible to help you improve as many relationships as possible at work, at home, and in your community. And as always, remember this: you don't need to know everything about everyone in order to have a positive impact on someone. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a great day.
Tune in each week and find out how to demand and implement diversity at your job. To hear more, check out previous Diversity Dude shows on ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
Hi, I'm Shaletta Brundage. I'm I'm a media personality, podcaster, and a business owner. But my most important role is mom. 3 of my beautiful kids have been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. When I didn't know who to trust or where to turn, I found ACRA. ACRA provides home care services to families all over Minnesota. The care is not one size fits all. They know each one of my kids is unique. They listen to what resources we needed and what's best for our family. I've seen my kids grow and thrive with ACRA's in-home care. While autism is the most common diagnosis among ACRA clients, ACRA offers personalized in-home care services for people with disabilities, chronic illnesses, behavioral diagnosis, and mental illness. They work with children, adolescents, and older folks too. Find out more about ACRA at their website, acrahomecare.org. ACRA helps me provide my kids with a better quality of life. They can do it for
Children's Minnesota, the leader in specialized healthcare for kids, is here to raise awareness, standards, the bar, the stakes, the question, the curtain. On raising kids' health to the highest priority. Kids need equal access to healthcare, more pediatric expertise, a voice for change. Kids need us, all of us. So let's raise them up. Children's Minnesota, the kid experts.
COVID-19 is still circulating out there in our community, and it still presents a real danger for those at higher risk. You can do your part to protect the most vulnerable. That's older folks, those who are immunocompromised or have certain lung, heart, and other chronic conditions, and people who are pregnant or have just given birth. Consider getting tested before spending time with these folks or wearing a mask when you're in close contact around them. Show you care by taking care.
Do you worry that lead-based paint in your older home might be dangerous to your children or kids who visit you? Well, Hennepin County put those fears to rest. Hennepin County offers free lead tests and home assessments. If they find anything, eligible homeowners and landlords can receive up to $15,000 for work on the home, including new windows. The government banned lead-based paint 45 years ago when it was discovered that lead poisoning can affect development and cause permanent damage in young children. But 75% of those homes built before 1978 still contain some lead-based paint. As the paint degrades, it can make dust that little kids ingest when they're crawling and putting things in their mouths. So make sure your home is safe and hazard-free. Learn about testing and that $15,000 grant at hennepin.us/lead control. That's hennepin.us/lead control.
You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African-American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast-quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.